Hey, it's Nayetta here with another episode on Let Kids Play podcast. I'm your host, of course, and today we're talking about the importance of art with your little ones. We'll discuss, so this will be more than one episode because we're discussing the elements of art. If you don't know what the elements of art is, it's the line, shape, form, space, texture, value, and color. And I know that all sounds like a lot, especially when we're talking about our little ones under 5. So they're already learning these things. I just need you to understand the importance of it and give you a little background knowledge so that you can help them expand their knowledge while they're creating their art. So let's get into it. So I have my notes here. Just so that I can give you all the knowledge that you need and so that you don't miss out on anything and so I don't forget anything because as you all know, mommy brain is real most of the time. So what I learned when I took a dive into the elements of art is that it really truly relates to like a pre-K kindergarten curriculum. That if the kids learn the elements of art and the importance of each element within the arts, then they've pretty much grasped the skills to be pre-K kindergarten ready in a fun and playful way. Not just like, oh, here are the flashcards with my alphabets and things like that. Because they have to learn the shapes, the colors, the spaces, and different things like that. So, give you a quick dive into this episode. We'll be talking about the colors, the shapes, and the value. And then I'll leave the other ones for the next episode. So those tie in. Oh, and line. So line, shape, color, and value. Because those four tie in together is 7. So we'll be talking about those 4 in this episode. So as you know, they always say everyone in this is an artist. And I truly believe that within my heart and my soul that everyone is an artist. Everyone should experience art. Everyone should dabble within the arts, even if you're not an art major. And some people sometimes think that I am. I'm not. Or I wasn't an art major in college. My background was human resources, but I just took an interest into different ways to teach my kids outside of school, things that I felt like were important. And I feel like art is very, 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 very important for your little ones. Like they use the lines, like when they start scribbling and stuff, and you give your little one a crayon, they hold it like this, it's okay as long as they like are scribbling and stuff. Like the lines are so important because people see this scribble, which is also their way of writing, but they can have bold lines, they can have diagonal lines, thick, thin. Like those are all the things that you can talk about with your little ones as far as like the elements of art and the lines. Like you can create a whole lesson on just lines. And also once they grasp the concept of the different lines, like you can have the dotted lines, diagonal, all that stuff, that also goes into them using scissors and cutting different lines. So it just all ties in and builds upon each other. So I truly feel like if we start with the elements of art, with just the basics for teaching our babies, it builds as they get, older, because the lines not only lead to them cutting, lines turn into shapes. So it's just amazing how it all ties in to each other. So that's where the lines for me are important. Let me back up. So art, I wrote down like the importance to me, like the 3 main important things to me that stood out when I was learning about deep diving into the elements of art. So art pretty much describes what an artist has done. It's analyzing. So art is 3 ways. So it's describe what an artist has done on paper without words. Some people use words, but to keep it basic, without words, it's a way of communicating. And then the other part of the second part was the communication, your thoughts, and kind of creating a language, because back in the day art was a language, and it still is, but like they use symbols, and the Japanese culture still use symbols as far as their words. And then analyze what's going on in a particular piece is the third, where you're discussing, like if you're going to a museum and stuff, you're discussing the pieces of the art and what their thought process was behind it. So those three things are really important, because one, your little one is pulling out what's in their mind onto their paper. So that's kind of just communicating their thoughts and finding their language, putting it on paper. So two, describing what's been done. So they can describe it to you, Mommy, I drew this heart, this, that, and the other. And you are the person that helped them analyze the thought process behind it. Well, to keep it simple, oh, you drew a heart? What made you do that? Because I love you, Mommy. So it's just as simple as that. But those small steps and skills build into something great. Because most artists start when they're young. So I'm not trying to tell you to create an artist so that your kid can be an artist when they grow up. But I feel like it's an important piece to learning that's often overlooked, because that creates to me, the creative geniuses that we have in the world, to be able to think outside the box and solve the problems that we have. Like, to me, the person that invented this phone that I'm using was an artist. Like, they had to think outside the box to say, like, hey, I want to get rid of this big old phone with the antenna. That's what I seen when I was growing up, that my dad had the first cell phone, this big old phone, like this big to the ear with the antenna. Like, someone had to think about the touch screen and be able to think outside the box in their normal traditional education, just to come up with that concept and that idea. So it teaches your kids to be innovative and creative, which is what we need in the world. It's the skills that I feel like are going away, and I'm truly passionate about these kids continue to be creative and think outside the box, so that we can continue to thrive in the world and continue to build and create things that solves our problems, and just to give them ideas on things to keep their minds working. I feel like we're losing that aspect of with technology, to keep the wheels turning in our kids. Like, everything is just right there at arm's reach, and it's good. There's no knock to technology. I love technology and I love the growth that it's going, but I also want the kids to continue to be creative. That's pretty much what it is. All right, so we talked about lines. I keep saying lime. I don't know why. So the next one is the colors. So colors, you can break it down so easy. So if you've ever taken one of my art classes here in Henry County, you know I only use primary colors. It doesn't matter what age group I'm working with and we're painting, I only use primary colors, because it's teaching them about the secondary colors. So primary colors are your red, yellow, and blue. You can mix almost any color from keeping the basic. You can mix almost any color from that. And that helps the kids also, like, do I want to go there? Okay, so I'm just going to say it. So that also helps the kids with math skills, blending, fine motors. Like, it's just so many things that you can pull from the kids mixing colors and learning the primary colors first, and then building on that it makes, like, truly no sense. And that's where the value comes in. I'm looking for a piece back here on my wall to show, like, the mixing of the colors, but she used pastel. She used paint and pastel on that, so that's not really like a mixing of the colors. But when you're doing colors, you can build on it with values. You can do a whole lesson on colors, blend it with the alphabets. Like, there's just, again, the elements of arts, you can create so many different curriculums. It's mind-blowing. And then with colors, once you do the primary, secondary, you can start teaching your kids about the warm colors, which also goes into a fall lesson. You can start teaching them about the cool colors, which goes into your winter lessons. So it's just so many things that you could do with the elements of art. You can teach them the happy colors, a whole curriculum on the rainbow, which I need to release. Me and Dion have My toddler have a curriculum on the rainbow. I need to release that because he's now wanting to, mommy, how do we create indigo? And it's not like I intentionally put up a picture of the word indigo and this is the color. It's just us talking about the rainbow and me adding, indigo in there. He's like, oh, mommy, we need to make indigo now, because he wants to mix indigo because he knows how to mix the orange and the green and things like that. So he's like, wait, I haven't mixed indigo. Mommy, we need to mix indigo. So it's just creating that little piece for them and just showing how their mind works and what they remember. A lot of people feel like you can't teach your kids that stuff under 5. And my toddler, he's 3, he'll be 4 in October, and he can truly he can learn this stuff. So colors are important in our lives because we see colors every day. We see it in nature, animals, plants, light colors, dark colors, black and white are colors. You got your warm colors, your cool colors. Colors is just all around us, as you see. So I feel like it's an important part to create a whole curriculum and lesson around it too, and make it play-based. Like, just to give you an idea, like you can take fruit and vegetables, create your colors of the rainbow. They can eat that one day as with their breakfast. They can make a smoothie with it the next day, which is also like fine motors, because you want to have them get the kids knives and chop it up themselves to put into the blender for them to make their smoothies. You can use it to make dinner one day. You can add it to their lunch. Like, it's just a whole lesson around let's eat the rainbow, let's cook with the rainbow, let's color the rainbow. Like, it's just so many different ideas that you can do with the colors in the rainbow in general, because all the kids love colors. And they love the rainbow, I should say, because they think rainbow is a color. So, and then that, it ties into the number 7 colors in the rainbow. So we can expand. Let's count on 7. Let's do different things to build on 7. Let's add to get to 7. Like, it's just so many things that we can do with colors and the rainbow specifically. So I said I was going to talk about 3, but we'll leave it at those 2, the lines and the colors, and why art is important for your little ones. So until next time, this is the Let Kids Play podcast. Nayetta, your host, and I'll talk to you later.